Oh, we're not undercover.
We're not. We don't mind if people know who we are.
What are you guys doing?
We're watching McGovern's.
Just McGovern? Is that what you're like?
Where are you guys headed? Where are you?
No, I live a block from here.
Well, McGovern's has had a fair number of
No, I'm just wondering, like, are you just for McGovern's, or are you the city of St. Paul?
everywhere.
Really?
Throughout the
Technically
whole
with
county.
the county.
Let's.
This is Sheriff Fletcher.
I don't know what Sheriff Fletcher is,
Yeah.
but I feel bad for cops right now. Like, the shit that's going down in Minneapolis, that's going to spill over to St. Paul. You understand that, right?
We do.
That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it is. Thank
I have
you
a couple
for.
friends that are cops in Minneapolis. I feel bad for them. I'm like,
Yeah.
you guys are risking your lives for shit.
Yeah, it's been a very tough 3 or 4 months, but it'll get better.
No, it won't. I am a nurse in Hudson, in the ER.
Can I tell you one thing before you go any further? Okay, just stop for a minute.
Okay, I appreciate
Just as
it.
a favor, okay? What's your first
I gotta
name?
talk to the cops.
Right
Jenna.
now you're on live Facebook. Okay? Okay? So, I'm not sure. I just want you to, just in fairness to you.
Okay, well, in fairness, I think that the cops are amazing.
Well, thank you.
I work in an ER, and the cops come and hang out with us.
Yeah.
We have a great working relationship.
In fact, the nurses down at Regions have been texting us tonight to stop in.
I have a couple friends down there.
Yeah, they've been texting us to
'Cause
stop in.
Hudson is helping.
So, are you guys headed to McGovern's now, or where were you?
No, we're going to home, but we're trying to find our friend Natalie. We have no idea where she went now that we're on Facebook Live.
Just you. Just you. And
Honestly,
we do really appreciate
we-
your support.
As an ER nurse, we appreciate everything you guys do.
Thank you. Very
Thank
kind
you.
of you to say
And
that.
Well,
I'm not
we
in St. Paul, but I have friends at Regions, and we appreciate everything.
What's the
you guys
hospital in Hudson?
do. Yeah,
What's the name of it?
Hudson Hospital.
Hudson Hospital.
We are also health partners, so Regions is our sister hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really kind of you to say some nice words to
So,
us. We
appreciate everything.
we
you guys do.
appreciate it.
Have fun with your
And
Facebook.
by the way, my name is Bob Fletcher. I'm the sheriff. If you want to watch the playback, in fact, you can just go to your Facebook and you'll see this feed right now.
Nope, I don't need to.
Okay. Thank you. Just a,
You guys have a good night.
thank you.
Thank
you,
you too.
Thank you. We can't stop people from walking up to your window, Pat, but good to have some friends. So anyhow, we're back. Hopefully we weren't gone too long. Appreciate everybody that's coming back, returning. Feel free to share this again when you're logged on, because the first share might have expired.
Wait, 47. I'll be on PT.
Oh, they're coming back.
One short, four.
Good for traffic, 58 minutes.
167 copy.
Hi guys. Oh, their boyfriend's coming over. How are you?
Would you like to be clear?
How's it going?
Eagle Street is open.
Closed.
It is.
Closed. Yeah, it's closed.
I mean, yeah.
But
it is one.
what, Allery's is open.
Wait, what?
Allery's.
You asked me to put
Gallery?
Allery's.
Ellery's.
Yeah, they're open.
Allery's.
I mean, I'm not from here, so I just.
Everybody that when this closes at 1, everybody goes to Allery's.
And that's that way?
Yep.
Yep.
Allery's.
Oh, he knows. Thank you so much.
You
All right,
bet.
have a good night.
They're
You
Irish.
take care, partner.
Germany.
Go ahead.
July Delta Echo 073 back. They're registering on the 2016 Chevy.
Well, any
Malibu
minute
green
they should
color.
be closing up there.
Copy. So the RO.
And that was an example of what the sheriff was talking about earlier. There's just historically, there's always been a connection between
Position Eric.
law enforcement and
Kilo Idaho.
nurses and doctors, especially emergency room personnel.
You see the same tragedies.
Yep.
Now, here's the thing. I know just for the sake of our Facebook show, we should probably be moving around. But honestly, we have to do the job the way we would do it, even if we weren't on Facebook. So sitting here and anticipating this, I mean, we know that there's been fights here every Friday. We can't just leave this unattended because sooner or later someone will get hurt.
Mother of the suspect.
No.
And the ultimate goal is to keep people from getting hurt.
Keep the peace. We're just peacekeepers. And, you know,
Thank you.
if we can keep the peace until they're sober the next morning, then we start over. Isn't that the truth?
316. 316. Can we get our case number, please? Case number is going to be
Is that the St. Paul
168437.
copper over there? Yeah. Oh, we're gonna go over and say hi to them.
Copy, thank you.
Maybe they can watch the corner for us. Hey, are you guys gonna stay here till they empty out?
Can you please change this to an assist?
Because if you're here,
I'll be back on mine.
if you're here, maybe we won't. But you know, every Friday there's a street fight. You know, so can you handle it without us? Yeah, all right. Well, we're gonna float. Oh, you got 2 cars? Very good. All right. Thanks, guys. So St. Paul has apparently assigned a couple cars down here, which is good. I don't know, based on the past, if that'll be enough. 2 cars.
Might not be a bad idea to stay in the area anyways. You know what? We ought to swing by Grand 7 too. They've had some periodic late night problems.
Okay. That guy's having an argument.
Glad it's just over the phone and not in person.
You're funny. Take a look on this patio here.
We got a full house.
I'm gonna run down to Grand. Ooh. Run down to Grand and 7 for a minute. This bouncer here, that Tom Reed's used to work at the Bulldog. Good guy. Yeah.
7121 arrived, ending 72. I'll be clear, sir.
No window.
I like Grand 7.
Yeah, I don't come down here much. I mean, is Mancini still open late at night, or what time are they closing?
I'm not sure.
We should make a swing through.
Sure.
Ninety-one 74.
Is everyone?
Yeah, let's. I'm trying to think of the bar Dave Thune used to hang out. You know, Dave Thune was
174. 625 Woodcrest.
one of the longest running
Like
council
dispute,
members.
President out, color.
Down
That's
there.
their moving furniture.
Did an awesome job, but he was like part of West 7th Street.
7105.
Advancing 104.
He and I ran for city council together in 1982.
9174, copy.
He lost. I was fortunate enough to win, but he lost to Jim Scheibel by 23 votes.
Miles are
Wow.
912.
23 votes. And then, of course, Jim later went on to get elected mayor, and Dave Thune became a city council member then. But very nice man, very nice man. Oops, that's still red. Still red. Yeah, I think most of the restaurants are closing early now, till the COVID's over. Mancini's used to stay open till midnight or 1. DeGidio's here, another one of our favorite places, but that's closed as well.
Went to a lot of retirement parties there.
Yeah. There's a guy named Carlone that used to own this building. It was a restaurant years ago. All closed up here at Mancini's, but I want to give them a shout out for outstanding atmosphere. Pat and John run the place. They're probably some of the finest restaurant
westbound Maryland from right Delta to the
runner owners and managers that you can run into. There's some of the kindest people around.
The most gracious of hosts.
Gracious, yeah. Got that from their mom and dad. Of course, Pat's wife does a lot of the heavy lifting down here too in terms of keeping things running, but just a comfortable atmosphere. You always feel at home there. Nick Mancini graduated from Monroe, I think, in Monroe High School in 1947. My father graduated from Monroe in 1948. They were 1 year apart.
Really?
Yeah, 1 year apart down there at Monroe. The Cascalendas were there too. They kind of moved on to dominant figures in West St. Paul, but Joe Cascalenda, great athlete.
121 copy en route to the DOC at 1309 University for a male and female yelling at comp and her friend attempting to fight. Comp is yelling at the suspects, not responding to the TC. Squad 112, can you assist?
Where was that?
112's en route.
1309 Uni.
Thank you, 107.
Yeah, when we leave here, we got to go over to Paint and Arcade. Yeah, I'll find.
Break for both.
So,
3918 Grant for a domestic. Color's mom and mom's boyfriend slapped the Tom 10 minutes ago. Another is a white male, 40 years old, 6 foot average build, shirtless, wearing black pants.
here's the Parlor restaurant.
How's the Illinois?
The burger. We were talking about that earlier, right?
Oh, yeah.
The Parlor burger.
And the comp is going to be waiting outside 29.
Yeah, let's just sit here a little bit. This is Reed's emptying out. Never really have any
Reporting that female hitter
problems here with the Reed's clientele.
Found on University at this time. Male half the black male, 30 years old, 5'4" thin, wearing a white shirt, gray
Oh,
shorts.
the same. There are cops
On the
around
right
here
is
on the
white
beat
female,
now.
30 years old, gray shirt, dark blue pants with a white stripe.
121 cars.
108.
We're a lot funnier than those St. Paul cops.
Thank you.
I
Don't you think?
immensely.
Yeah. Oh, they might be. They might be better at a lot of things. Tommy Veneman from the Hell's Outcast. If you're listening, I saw a couple of your bikers here on West 7th Street. I don't know where they're headed.
Hold out.
109.
somebody asked me if I knew Al at Al's Billiards on Hamlin and Larpenteur. And yes, absolutely. I knew Al pretty well because when we started, well, I mean, obviously that was in Roseville. But when I was working investigations and we were working on some of the Asian gangs, you know, I worked with Snyder and Strotka and others on Asian gangs. A lot of the Asian gangsters would hang out there shooting pool.
Oh, yeah.
They wouldn't cause trouble there, but if we ever wanted to find them, we would slide up to Al's Billiards to find them. And Al was always very helpful, cooperative.
Copy 110.
So, yeah, I spent a lot of time in there just kind of looking for people.
112 off those parties on Syndicate and Union.
Yeah, a lot of people text us. Here's a gentleman saying his old haunts of the 70s. A lot of people that have moved out of the cities like to see what's happening.
Yeah, if you've been out of the city for more than
129.
5 years, there's a lot of parts of town that you wouldn't recognize the landscape anymore.
Revised data.
We got a big thank you from the women at the Female Sober House on the east side. You're very welcome. So glad, hope that pizza, hope you ate it all, although I can eat pizza anytime. Breakfast is good too.
Copy code 4 with 126, 111.
So any minute now, we're going to have a bunch of people leaving the bars here in the street. And in fact, I think maybe we'd go back and get our old spot, or a little closer anyhow.
It's still open.
You know, just starting to come out. I feel like we're just repeating everything that happens every week. It's like there's nothing new.
Report 190 Central.
All right, so West 7th and Chestnut. The bars are closing up here. A lot of people trying to impress the women.
Yeah, this is the time of night when people tend to think they're much more funny and charming than they actually are.
Yeah.
One was that for dispatch or 112?
It's also the time of night that people get really disappointed that
Disregard.
their lines they've been using haven't worked. You know what I mean? Some people get angry when a woman says no, and that's or when another man is hitting on a woman they perceived as theirs, which of course is the core problem. Well, there's a challenger, huh?
Get it?
No. Got 4 out of 5. 4 out of 6. See, this guy over here, he's calling to these 4 girls, begging them to come to a party with him. You guys want a party? And they're, of course, walking away. And, this guy here. To his car. See the big guy crossing the street there from the left to the right on your screen? That's the guy that was yelling to the women to come back and come to a party with him. They walked away because they didn't want to be around them. And
You know, when you got a bar that's had some problems and somebody leaves the bar, goes to their car,
yeah,
and then comes back, you want to pay a little bit of attention to.
right. Two things usually: some form of narcotics or a weapon. Right?
Yep.
First spot, we can start 231 Charles. We have a female that's acting erratic, needs to be removed. Now stated they're at Marion and Charles. The female's trying to hit her and there's weapons in the vehicle. Now requesting medics. We don't know what kind of weapons or injuries.
That's a big Uber.
224.
That pickups an Uber.
I'm joking. I don't know. I
Can I have a spot that says 224?
pulled up like an Uber. Where's the guy that walked to his car? Now he's walking.
215. You can clear me. I'll go with.
Copy.
Go Wolves!
Hey,
How's it going?
get it down. Oh, hey, brother, I still got it, brother.
You still got it. You
All
still
right.
got it.
All
How
right.
you doing,
Good,
man?
Ariel. Good to see you.
All right, you too, man. You know what? Guess what?
But
Tell Engstrom I said, give me
This
a
was
job
a
next time I
car
go to
stating
the county.
Joe, who?
Engstrom.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll talk to
you
him.
know the man with the little wavy
Something
hair.
else was
Yeah,
keeping
yeah.
That's
the
old
motion
ass.
sensor
He
behind
should
the
be done by
apartment.
now, right?
Huh? Mr. Handsome. Yeah,
Something
he's
else was
Yeah,
a big
but you already know. You
But
already know.
just to go to the
area.
beach,
Just
pump,
go to the
pump,
beach, yeah.
pump some
Let's get all
iron.
buff,
I'll be working right now,
Yeah,
Logan.
brother. Yeah, yeah.
Turbulent.
Well, tell him, what name should I give him?
Tell him, hey, Marcus Colvin, man.
Marcus. All right, Marcus.
Dude, come on, man, from Humble, from
Humble.
West Side.
Got it.
Come
All
on, man.
right.
Hey, dude, I'm
West Side.
Dude, I'm old dude now. I'm an old guy now. Dude, I'm 47 now. Still kicking.
All right, Marcus. Later.
Have a good one.
212. Where was that last location?
128 West Geranium, closest 190.
Yeah.
I'll be today. I'll go that way.
Copy.
Well, there's a pizza.
Casetas, I'm guessing.
Who's yelling? Yep. Thing about this flashlight, I never know for sure where you don't want to quickly when you want to turn it on. It's nice to have a button that protrudes. Some doesn't.
Now, is that the bright one, or is the one on my side the bright one?
This is the brightest. That one's pretty bright too. Well, that'll be great if everybody gets out of here peacefully tonight.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, every Friday we were together, there were problems down here.
Yeah. Sure that
7125, 7121.
25 for both.
another couple minutes we'll head out over to the east side.
2666 Wakeport Drive. For a suspicious. Posting an area check for two people that were near vehicles parked across the street from the address for about 30 minutes with flashlights on. Com states they turned the flashlights off and she turned her house lights on.
Alright, let's just swing by the
35 squad, copy.
119.
by the patio there again. Pull up the thing there, Greenbrier and Wells. Sounds like there was a call over there. Greenbrier and Wells. Anything over there?
I've seen it.
Scroll up just a minute here, see what there's
318. 318. I'm back out on Wilson, and I'm
Alright.
in a driveway back behind where I think the cop said that motion light is coming on. I wasn't able to find a motion light that's on back here. Are we able to get that cop back on the phone and see if we're within the right area here? Yeah, nice.
And it's COVID, just, you know, when you think about economic losses, COVID is like, Mancini's as an example has really hurt a lot of businesses here. Close to
Emptied out.
Oh, good. Take a quick drive through the parking lot here. We'll be on our way. How's it going?
4-5, we're 23 in the area, and there's no one out here. Can we try a call back and see if we can locate someone?
Okay, we got that plate I ran
Yeah.
on that van that was sitting there.
Yeah, if it was at a, what kind of name it came back was, yeah. That's a problem, is that if it's a, I hate to say it, but there's so many redundant Somali or Islamic names
And birthdays.
that they come back so consistently with that morning, and it's virtually never the right one. I started to think that when I first was running the CAD last year, and I've told them, but they can't fix it.
Right.
Just too many similar names, because in the Islamic tradition, there's certain names that you pick from that are all religious importance. Way over the east side, we will swing by Ellery's, see what that's starting to look like.
She advised that squads are going to be in the correct area. She also advised that after seeing the lights turn on, she also heard noises like somebody was going through the bushes or through trees. Copy. We're back here, and I've been here for a few minutes. I haven't heard anything.
You want to stand that up there,
Yeah, that's a
just
good
so
idea.
nobody
Copy.
runs into that. I don't know. A couple street signs, people out there. Basically, you need me to help, or you got it?
Multiple callback.
I guess we'll find out.
Copy.
Squad 111.
Go ahead.
Head to a DOC 666 Grand Avenue. It's going to be the parking lot behind Perrier Wines and Liquors. For people inside, 6 vehicles yelling at each other. About 3 to 4 black males are outside of the vehicles, still yelling.
We're gonna run up there.
At 7th and Spirit.
Thank you, 123.
People are yelling. We'll run up there. 666 Grand.
I think that's pretty much going to be right by Grand Tavern, too.
Yeah, I think just a little further, but I'm sure they're
224.
emptying out there.
224.
Me GOA. You can send me their opinion.
I mean, it's just people yelling at each other, but I gotta tell you, the problem is they start yelling at each other, and with the large volume of alcohol, it ends up turning into something
I
else.
have the Ricardo says 750 auto for 10 people drinking and smoking and not wearing a mask.
750 auto. Down West 7th Street there. I probably should have gone the other way. Just gone out 7th Street to. There's less people this way. Probably should have gone right down 7th to Grand.
315 traffic.
This isn't too far, like Pat said, from the tavern on Grand, and then also down the block further is Billy's. So
Burns
make
and
a swing
Frank.
by.
Echo Foxtrot Echo 560. Burns and Frank, Hill 125.
So if you all remember, this is 600 block, 656 or 666, but in either way, it's Dale is 620. So the long block down to St. Albans is the 680, so it's between Dale and St. Albans.
4483.
Since it's an even number, we know it's on the south side of Grand. Because remember, odd numbers are on the north side and the west side of the street. Even numbers on the south and east. I know some of you that are from Minneapolis, you like the way that the numbers jump to another 100 every number. But the problem with that is...
Copy, what direction?
Hang on a second.
Eastbound.
Copy, calling at 10-3.
Oh my goodness. 10-3 over to the east side. 10-3 means clear the
You're
air.
at Johnson. You're eastbound. You're going about 10 miles an hour now.
Oh, it's a 10-mile-an-hour chase.
Copy, price continuing on Johnson. 10 miles an hour at 126.
But when you hear 10-1, 10-2, 10-3, it means that
First stop stick.
clear the air.
Your incident. Driving conduct is unsafe.
He's got a drunk that's driving very
Stop
slowly.
sticks are approved. I'm going to be in the area of that also.
Clear right.
318, why don't you tell me that I can get 6 at 3rd? For Wilson, Johnson.
So I'm not sure the best way to come in.
You're westbound on 100.
Right in the middle of the block, but we're going to go down to the other end because
Copy, westbound Hudson.
get a feel for which business it's behind right now.
Perrier Liquor is what they had said.
Did they?
441, code 4, unoccupied.
This is the tavern. You're right there. The tavern is what number? But mid block. Here's some yelling back
Sorry,
here.
copy, speed is 20, swerving all over the road, and can I get your location again?
Westbound Pacific, past Griffin.
Time to go.
Copy, westbound Pacific at Griffin is 127.
Oh Jesus! What's going on? What? People are calling saying there's yelling back here. They're saying you're yelling. How are you? Thank you. Yeah, we just stuck right in there, huh?
Pacific and Frank.
Get in front of our camera so we can get you on Facebook.
Copy, vehicle stopping Pacific and Frank.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
9132. 9132. Change to civil assisted. 120.
I'm code 4.
Code 4, 120.
$20 for 100. You can mark the Grand Avenue call. 600 block there advised and sent the parties on their way.
$2,400, copy 128.
And 111, we copy that will be 10-9. Thanks, sir.
111, 115, you're clear, 129.
115, copy clear.
129.
You see, she was recording us.
223.
Yes, she was.
223.
Changes code EKP.
Yeah, but I wonder if she was on Facebook Live.
121.
121.
Interesting. This is the
Please advise. Mark to 112, 126.
129.
Oh,
166 on channel 3. We're looking for a TZD car.
315. Driver's in custody. Car's clear. You can cancel the 10-3. And yeah, we can take a TZD car.
Copy. Pacific and Frank.
$225, 212.
Copy. In the air at 130.
don't be yawning, Pat.
I didn't yawn.
316.
That was me.
316. Clear report with Eastern.
I think that's the first night that you did the
Copy.
first
161.
I had a house full of family members over. I couldn't get a nap in.
Oh, I took a long nap to get ready for tonight.
That's what I heard. Somebody texted me on there, commented on there.
Courtesy ride to adult female to Arkwright and Cook.
I don't normally take much.
Right, Cook at 131.
Hour and a half. If you sleep fast, my theory is sleep fast.
223, I'll take
I
that
used
back.
that tactic in college when I was you'd stay up
Reserve
late.
by this is 222 for 91. Hang up 100 block of Plato.
Let's see if our deputies
Oh,
here
I'm just gonna check the area.
are able to respond. We're at Billy's. How's everybody? You in the car there, Michael, or what? You in the car trying to avoid COVID or what?
Ant's riding along with
Oh,
me
good.
tonight.
There you got some backup.
I got the better half.
That's good. Retired Minneapolis cops are all over. Retired St. Paul. We got everybody.
I know. How's it going? We've been watching you. We were
Well,
watching you in there.
I appreciate that. How's it going here?
Good. It's been it's a little busier earlier than it has been here, but no problems.
Hey, Annie.
Hey there, how
How's
are
it
you?
going? How is their staff doing with the death of their
Sad.
employee?
They're still struggling.
Yeah. Terrible thing. Terrible thing. For those of you that are listening here, there was a suicide yesterday in the Midway area, and it turns out that it was one of the employees here at Billy's that had killed himself. So there's been a lot of sadness here at Billy's. So it's a terrible thing.
Pretty much everybody here right now is staff members
Oh, they are.
that are all out here, and most of them inside. So
We're gonna go down to Allery's. You might have to get an off-duty job down there.
all right, yeah, I was watching you down by Reed's and McGovern's.
Wasn't too bad. Sports bar was busy over there, but we're gonna head. Most of them.
Hi.
Most of them, I think, head to Allery's. I think stays up until 2:30 or something.
Yeah,
a
they
little,
stay open
a little
later.
later. A little later. All right. Well, thanks for all your work,
Yeah, have a
and
good night.
we'll talk about the president's visit to Minnesota here this weekend. All right,
See you, boss.
Thank you. That's Under Sheriff Mike Martin. He, one of our main undersheriffs, and today he had a meeting with the Secret Service and the Minneapolis people regarding the president coming to Minnesota on Monday. But try to avoid politics in this particular venue, so don't jump on there in the middle of this national politics. This is,
7125. Clear
Just
jailer.
keep this to St. Paul crime and St. Paul's policing and Ramsey County crime and Ramsey County policing, but just let you know we are always called upon to help out on any of these visits. We've been doing that for
212 riding.
ages.
Copy.
One 1023, 74.5.
134.
There you go.
The phone call request for a test from Otto. Caller's plates were taken off their vehicle.
lot of thefts of cars and a lot of thefts of plates. Just a lot of people looking for ways to be covert with stolen cars.
And they're hanging on to stolen cars for a whole lot longer than they used to.
Interesting. Well, part of it is honestly that, I hate to say it, but there's so many departments that have stopped really pursuing that they know that they can.
I was going to leave that for you to say.
Yeah, well, it's just, I hate to say it. They know they can keep the car because very few departments will actually chase them. So they can use them over and over. In the old days, they wanted to switch cars so that they wouldn't be caught,
right?
Wouldn't be seen. But now the caught part isn't as big of a concern because to catch them, you have to pursue them. So there you have it. We're gonna run back to the east side now. I gotta get up Payne Avenue Arcade. Gotta get back to the Mounts Park Sports Bar.
Can you put me out at team?
112 copy.
This has been kind of a fast-moving night, it seems like.
Yeah.
Wasn't a whole lot going on, but
Just enough. Just
enough.
I remember this freeway that we're gonna go over here, 35E. I'm not sure what you used to call it a parkway, right?
Right.
35E Parkway. Well, just a little history here. This was held up.
9171, 9172.
Senator Coleman, Nick Coleman, represented the area on the top of the hill here, had this freeway construction held up for a long time, 10 years, for environmental assessment, etc. And because of the fumes that freeways generate in terms of the people in the area that are so close to the houses up on the hill, and granted there were a number of wealthy people involved, but my father was an engineer. He used to take me down here. I mentioned he worked for the Corps of Engineers, but he used to take me down here, and we used to walk where they were planning the freeway for years before it was finished. And then when it finally was finished, they required a lower speed limit. I think it's 45. Is it 45?
45.
45. And the reason that they required that is not because of safety, but that was a compromise to cut the emissions. So they required a 45-mile-an-hour speed limit, and they agreed to design it only to specifications that it couldn't handle semis. So semis are forbidden from being on that stretch of 35E. Did you know that? I don't know.
Yes, I did.
So,
and that gets pretty vigorously enforced by the State Patrol.
but I remember when they were tearing down houses there on Pleasant on the old there was a lot of old houses that were there for years. My father liked to explore. And so, unfortunately, I remember one day where we were exploring and there was somebody in the house. And he yelled, "Run!" So, it's kind of funny how you have those memories when you're a little kid.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that 45-mile-an-hour speed limit, there's a popular newspaper columnist here in town who frequently refers to it as the practice freeway because of that 45 miles an hour.
Right, exactly. The practice freeway. Yep. And I'm pretty sure I can say with a great amount of confidence that very few people really abide by the 45. But
Well, I of course do, boss.
Yeah, well, I mean, like everything else, keeps it lower than the 75.
Good. 08 with the squad to assist Boston copy. 903 Beach Street, 1 caller for 3 shots.
There we go.
15 minutes ago, nothing else.
Beach and Earl, right there in the corridor. Beach and Earl, shots fired.
Shots fired, 15 minutes old. I don't know if that means the person waited 15 minutes to call, or...
No, she's in the 104.
I don't know, but that's the corridor where this time of night, the most frequent number of shots that are fired there along Earl between Minnehaha and Old Hudson.
Absolutely.
I used to go just sit over there. I mean, it wouldn't make a very good Facebook show, but you just sit over there for a couple hours.
You're liable to hear shots.
Hear shots. I think this time we'll sneak up 3rd Street instead of trying to, I don't know. So get off on the take the freeway and just jump on 6th Street there? Or, I don't know. On the 3rd Street bridge is pretty good. But I got to decide pretty darn quick. 7th to Minnehaha? Alright, we'll do it.
Yeah, I think so.
7th to Minnehaha.
I figured out why I was having problems getting to these calls before. I was constantly hitting the shift instead of the enter button.
Oh, yeah.
I don't make a difference.
We should put a little sticky thing on there.
Still no updates, nothing else seen or heard.
So just so you know, there's a lot of cars that go home at 2 o'clock. So the number of squads that are out here drops off here now in 5 minutes. My guess is most of those 2 o'clock cars aren't going to be in a hurry to run to that call. Thank that Matt again for bringing us a charger. Very kind to him. Very, very kind of him.
That's going to come in handy, no doubt.
Yeah. Mexican consulate is right up here. We have a consulate in. What was that? Did you hear somebody yelling?
Yeah, I think somebody was yelling at us not to get our attention. Just to yell at us.
Just to yell at us. How's it look that way, buddy?
Clear right. Right before I retired, there was I retired in 2010 from St. Paul. Just before I retired, there was a very serious stabbing that was nearly fatal that was committed by a Mexican national. And I spotted him a block away from the consulate. He was trying to get to the consulate for sanctuary. I got him in the nick of time. Clear right.
Can you just clear your advice and I'll take it to domestic?
I did not want to drive over this street again, but
282.
let's see. So right now on the radio, you're hearing all those 2 o'clock cars being checked out.
Negative. 316 on scene. Copy, 144.
I'm guessing that St. Paul car already came by. What was the numbers on Beach, you remember?
903.
Copy, good night, 144.
Exterior half will be EOC and Rodriguez half will stay on until.
Well, we always check the immediate location of the call, even though odds are it's not right near the call, but we want to make sure the caller knows that we're here.
So the cops at Wheeler and Thomas, and is the suspect at the 1173.
So, since I didn't know the numbers exactly,
I'm going to verify. It does say the
overshot
comments
it by
parties
a
will
couple
stay
blocks.
separated. I'm going to make sure that the suspects at 1173 comments is a bit of ways east.
Copy. That was my initial thought. Thank you.
You're welcome, 145.
Oh, this is a much better flashlight than I had.
That's probably the St. Paul car ahead of us there.
Yeah.
03 or
03.
All right, we'll go to that alley then, if there is an alley.
Yep. Looks like it. Oh, maybe. Must be a dead end alley.
That's fireworks. Can you hear them in the distance there? I think I just heard 2 fireworks from the
I
east.
think I smell fireworks too.
Yeah. Definitely fire.
121 and 126 for the
16.
206.
Spoke to a male who's been sitting on his car for quite a while, and he said he did not hear any gunshots.
206, I copy. Spoke with a male who's staying in his vehicle and did not hear any shots at 146.
It's about 361 UT.
Three six one, I copy. Additional squads for 0200 DOT, squad 381.
381.
Yeah, I'm
365.
pretty sure I heard 2 fireworks go off
365.
east of us.
369.
369, good night.
376. 379.
We're gonna go down
379, good night.
Forest
Any
and
additional for 0200 DOT?
Earl to see if we can get to the Mounds Park location
Have a good night, 147.
without going over that street.
Two two three.
Now, just so you know, we didn't tell you this, but
He does not want to speak with us.
some of those cars that we just rousted behind that liquor store on Grand, some of those guys were the ones that were over at Mounds Park Sports Bar causing a problem. They have connections to the West affiliated group. So there's certain intel we have that we don't always share right away, but if they show up over here, just like they said, there's going to be some problems.
148 Forbes, the male and female. Sorry, 2 females fighting, one went inside the address. One still outside.
It's down by 7th Street, right?
Mm-hmm. Where we were, of course.
Yeah.
224, I'll go since you at 205.
Copy.
Well, anyhow, just for those of you that are listening, you probably know this, but our plan is to just to consistently do Friday nights.
148.
I don't know that we'll have the time in our schedules to do a weekday all the time, but if something comes up that's noteworthy and of public interest, I'll certainly get
126, right on scene for the
the camera on. But just plan on Friday nights, 9/11.
Copy, Thomas Wheeler, 148.
9/11 we'll try to do, assuming Pat gets a nap. We'll try to stay at least till 2. I mean, but some of these places are open till 2:30, so if things are going,
25 Forbes, go ahead.
if there's a lot of energy out, we'll stay a little longer.
I'll be okay. Good night.
You as well, other squads for EOT.
Probably
squad
just do
189.
one day a week consistent. The routine
189.
patrol will be one day a week,
163.
anyhow.
163.
Well, that's good. Looks like
169.
everybody's closed up here.
165.
177.
That's good.
177. 180.
Durango with
189.
blacked out
Disregard.
windows.
Any other squads for EOT?
30 minutes.
Well, now we can roll them up to Payne and Arcade. See what's roaming around up there. Thanks again for those of you that are on earlier. Really honored to get up to 1,000 viewers at one time on our page.
Squad 168.
Sheriff, would you mind slowing back on that silver Monte Carlo?
No problem.
See if it's missing a
Squad
front
168.
plate.
168. Checking if you're EOT. We're still working on your call.
Which car are we looking at?
It's the
Still working
silver
on
Monte
it.
Carlo. It's the only car just north of Hudson.
Okay.
If it's missing the front plate, it might be the one that fled
Yeah.
from the west cars.
Yeah.
What you want?
But it looks like it's got a front plate.
You can change the address to.
Did you run it yet or not?
Yep.
Thomas, Permanent.
Let's see if it came back clear.
Oh, he did.
Copy 1757 Thomas, apartment 8, 150.
And lives right here.
Okay. Good check. Check. I don't want to drive down that street anyhow.
No kidding.
Yeah, I'll tell you of all the things that are going on, though, I am worried that the Hobbs family is in the middle of a shooting war, obviously. I like those people, those parents, they care about their kids. They just,
5184 house traffic.
they got themselves trapped in a bad situation where once one person gets shot and killed, it just cycles.
Sometimes for years.
Amen. Well, and you can see the video on my page that some of these killings go way back 10 years. The retaliation that goes on. Then people get out of prison after 5 years and they think they need to go over and close the books on that. So it's just, it's not good. So we're down here in Euclid and Mariah. Headed back towards 7th Street, Payne Avenue. Probably go up 7th Arcade. Oh, I do want to say one thing that we forgot to talk about when we were up there on 7th is the death of Jerry Vick. Just a terrible incident. I don't know, were you still at the department when he died, or no?
Yes, I was.
You were still there.
Yes, it was.
And, just a wonderful man. I mean, I was one of his supervisors back in the days. Him and his partner, actually Matt Topol, was an officer working out in the West District when I was a lieutenant over there. And just, Jerry was a wonderful guy with a wonderful wife and some great kids.
Yeah, I was one of Jerry's training officers when he first came on. He was one of those people you knew was going to be great. He was going to be a star. And he was.
Yep. Just a hard-working cop. Worked a lot to help women get out of prostitution, too. You know?
Definitely.
The Breaking Free organization.
Which one?
Sorry about that.
He was the most highly decorated officer in the history of the St. Paul Police
Change
Department.
address to 1763 Thomas.
Yeah.
Copy 1763 Thomas.
Oh, and wouldn't you know it? While we're talking about Jerry Vick, we pull into the Sacred Heart Church where Ronnie Ryan Jr. was shot and killed. Terrible thing.
And 121, not sure if you're with the comp, but we just had an update about
Right
a male
here.
caller who
He was checking on a man sleeping in a car.
Officers
Yep.
advising that a male who lives there has
And
gone
then,
and hit the biker.
fortunately, after he's walking back to his car, he was shot. It started a sequence of events and a search all morning that resulted in Tim Jones' death. While he was searching around the fish house, back of a house in Conway. Those were some sad days. I'll tell you one thing though, that, well, I mean, those were all excellent cops. Ronnie Ryan Jr. was one of the nicest
Oh,
people,
absolutely.
one of the nicest people you're ever going to meet. Of course, his dad was, was the gold standard for being a good person, but the son was just always smiley. When he first started there, he was like an intern or whatever, shuttling cars. I don't know if you remember that, but I was in the juvenile unit. He'd come in and he'd take the cars for oil change, and he always had such a great disposition. Want to go here?
Yeah, I need to make a stop.
And so, just a wonderful kid from a great family. And devastating loss. Remember sitting at his funeral over there at Presentation, just bawling to the song On Eagle's Wings. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes,
So in one
I
of
do.
those things, I was sitting next to Bev Hall at the time and just thinking about his death. It was terrible. But one of the things that about those funerals, is that in those days, the streets, after processions, the streets were lined with people
Yep.
waving and thanking you, and very sad. There was a time where you could tell people appreciated law enforcement.
Absolutely.
And I know that there's some viewers out there that are going to laugh at this, but it was very meaningful to me in those funerals. I think Jones's was at the cathedral, correct?
Yes, I believe so.
Jones's was at the cathedral, although I get them mixed up. Very meaningful to me that Susie Beeler was out on the street waving to us, crying
Yeah.
during those funerals.
Yep.
I mean, obviously, that was before she suffered some mental health issues. But just,
People from every neighborhood in town,
yeah.
every background.
Ready? Good.
We were all it was St. Paul strong that day.
Yeah. We'll run in here, and then after you're done, I'll run in there too.
Okay. Before I forget, there's a man that never wanted
that their neighbor crashed their vehicle into their second vehicle. Vehicle the party's in is going to be a white Chevy Avalanche. Stated that the party appears to be intoxicated and upset, yelling at somebody on the phone.
You go in, I'll check the address. We'll go finish your thought, though. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh,
a copy, would you check the
the man never wanted recognition,
Copy.
but when Ronnie was shot and killed,
443.
there was a neighbor in a house across the street who saw it happen from his
I
window,
remember that.
and he fired shots at the car as it fled and shot out the back window,
You're right.
which let us find
The
that
car.
car a lot faster.
That's
and,
a great point.
It's very,
Very good.
very seldom is that ever brought up, but that man is, he's a hero to every St. Paul cop.
Amen. Thanks for that.
Clearly negative. Legal owner will be at the LEC.
Just taking a look at the CAD here, see what's going on. What do we got
There's
here?
back.
What happened?
Closed for a half hour.
Oh, that's where they were going. They're doing checking the pumps.
We're going for the past hour.
We'll find another one. I want to run up to this hit and run on Wiper Avenue anyhow. Get out to Maywood a little bit before. I don't know, I didn't really get that close.
At Macy's. How do you?
You taking money out of the machine, Randy? I'm just kidding you. Yeah.
How do you hit and run a car at 2 in the morning in the Macy's parking lot?
Number 12, 2 people are arguing and fighting in the middle of the street. Now their injuries and their car had nothing further at 201. We have one in custody.
25
Copy, one in custody. 2 o'clock.
It's a different call. Well, we're going to run up to this fight call in Edgerton. 1225 Edgerton. As you know, Maryland is 1200.
318 will be on the block.
So,
Copy at 201.
Should be just north of that market.
yeah.
Clear.
Three 316. Just information. We got a call from an
Clear
anonymous
right.
caller stating at Wilson and Forest that an unknown party ran and jumped into a maroon Tahoe that pulled up in the alley of
Wilson and
South Belloc
Forest.
Forest. There's no description of the party.
Right where we just came from again.
Copy. I don't know if it's related to that other domestic in a Wilson at 202.
Looking at this phone screen, we are not going anywhere near as fast as it makes it look like we
Very
are.
deceptive.
318, I'm code 4. There's nobody fighting. It sounds like a family disturbance over a cell phone.
Oh, is that the call?
Yep.
Nobody fighting, family disturbance over a cell phone.
318, copy at code 4. Nobody is fighting as a family dispute over a cell phone at 203.
Probably that same car we stopped on University
I
Avenue.
was thinking the exact same thing. That was
So
a
here
family
are-
dispute over a cell phone.
Yeah, PPP at Tom Reese, please.
Copy at 203.
There's the officer that just handled it. Probably is the same family.
Or if it does, I'll be on 18.
I don't know if we dare. You know,
I don't know if we want to.
here's the thing. We're going to sit right here. They don't know it's us. In case something happens. In case somebody shoots each other over a cell phone. But the thing is, here's the thing that we figured out in police work. I don't know, I've mentioned it before. Sometimes when they know the police are close,
You get marked as advised with 126.
they start yelling more.
Copy 203.
Oh, please. I don't think she knows who we are. She's taking her car. Oh, fuck that. Can I help you? Yeah, I know you're. We're not here for you. We got another call.
318.
318.
We advise.
Well,
301.
sometimes they yell more when the police are there. In this case, not so much. She walked up to our car and said, "We're good, sir," after she was yelling and screaming at the person in
Copy
the house.
60. I can reference the California address.
And I think you mentioned this before. Sometimes people will actually start physically
Right.
fighting when the police are there because they know the police aren't going to let it get too far out of hand and they won't get hurt too badly.
And they can, especially if it's two guys, because then they can have pride that they didn't back off from the
You
fight.
gotta save face.
Save face. Yeah. Save
180,
face.
remember.
166.
166.
En route to the LAC in Bellingham.
So, what do you think? Super America and the Maplewood border up there?
Sure.
That's open, right?
Yep.
For us old guys?
Copy. Copy that. 6 copy, unit 121, you could assist, and squad
That's
101
where we got
copy.
our Mountain Dews
We have
last
2
night.
shots fired
Or
calls
Wednesday.
nearby the other. One is at 918 Dayton, one is at Oxford and Carroll. The one at Dayton is reporting 8 shots from the north within the past 5 minutes. One at Oxford and Carroll is reporting
What do you
5
think?
shots near the intersection. Heard a scuffle afterward, nothing further.
Yeah, but I know this is probably the real one. So we had a lot of shots fired over there off of Carroll and Victoria. Someone was shot and killed there at Avon. This guy's clearly had a little too much to drink. Well, maybe not. Maybe he just got confused. So,
What they've done to Maryland Avenue can confuse anybody.
yeah. Anyhow, there's shots fired over in the West District. So we're jumping down Maryland to go get on the freeway in case it turns out there's a victim. We have 3 separate shots fired calls over there off of Dayton, 900 block of Dayton.
And it says they heard a scuffle afterwards also.
Oxford and Carroll, but Carroll Street has had a number of shootings over there, so
9133.
not a ton of not a ton of spare cars out there right now. Looks like they're having a
Myself
fight.
in 2915 is DOT.
Just got to put that fight to rest before we go anywhere. They're not punching, but they're obviously arguing here at the Super America. Hopefully it's all good fun. You guys getting along okay?
Yeah, we just talking.
Just talking? All right, carry on.
Damn, I was scared. I was like, oh shit.
Just look like loud talking.
No.
2364.
2364.
We're code 4 for medics.
So, you know, I don't like getting on the freeway too often because it takes you away from the streets. Just because it's so much faster from here to Lexington. We're going to go this way tonight. And weaving our way through town. So quite often what happens is some of the East gangs that are mad about something that happened drive over and shoot at some of the West gangs.
Can you check on cam? No lights. It's Chrysler 300. So, you know.
And vice versa.
Traffic. Yep. Jackson and 12 here. Got a Blue Explorer, no plates.
Jackson on 12 at 209.
261 off, yeah, with 215.
Copy.
Something going on here in 94 with the state troopers, but he hasn't come back on.
224 VL.
Copy.
I haven't gotten used to which way I have to turn the channel from
There's a squad that just said they were at Jackson and 12 on the bridge there.
Hmm.
One looking at it.
210.
Haven't heard any updates from
No,
that.
no updates at all on that shooting. But it doesn't even sound like the cars are there yet, so hard to say. So are they all on Carroll or one's on Dayton? Or
318 cancel 323, please.
320 St. Clair.
what do we got?
We got address 1039 Carroll, which is right at the corner.
Check Detour Road. It's not here. That plate is correct.
The Dayton heard the shots from the north.
211.
The Carroll and Oxford
Yeah, we can check down to
heard them right at that intersection.
Ready monitoring agent, Edward, Victor, 9101 comes back to operation 300 Financial vehicle registry on 6th Street Northeast in Spring Lake Park. That's 6 copies. Did you put in that location?
Well,
Comes back to address Spring Lake Park, 8321 6th Street North.
remember what we do? We gotta look for casings, because the casings have unique identifiers
440, you can add Charlie George Williams, 899, I'm 44.
for the firing pin.
You can play code 4, 211.
The firing pin hit the casing.
Copy, 211.
And if we're best, you can drop it just about Snow County.
The two calls on it,
211.
and the one caller hearing what sounded like a scuffle in the street makes me think it's probably going to be legit.
$5184.
5184.
We're code 4 if we have you ready.
Copy code 4,
I can't stay up too much later. I guess I think I got a wedding to go to tomorrow. I'm thinking about it. I don't know though. Weddings seem like opportunities for COVID. You know? It's just, it's a different time.
Clear. Still clear. And I'm meeting Jesse for coffee tomorrow, late morning.
Molnar? Or which?
My son.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So Oxford and Carroll was the one where they thought they were right outside.
Yep.
Well,
318.
318.
Comments added, please change it to a suspicious and clear it. Services not required with 323. And I will check the area on Conway and let you know.
there's some shiny stuff in the street.
Copy for a group of males on skateboards checking vehicle door handles as he headed westbound on Conway from 1480 at 214. Three 316. Is there a key holder or an alarm company to contact for this residence?
Any casings or not?
Stand by.
Not yet?
We're gonna check the alleyways next.
Oh.
So,
Where was the scuffle at? Do you know?
it's in the intersection, but
Okay.
unless it wasn't a shooting or unless they went into the vehicle.
Yeah.
But
Or it's a revolver nowadays.
166.
Thank you.
yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yo.
Yeah.
Copy. Yep, 214.
So anyhow,
442.
we're at the scene, or we're the two of the
442.
calls. We're looking for casings in the street.
We'll be en route to 1263 Hazelwood, apartment 304 in relation.
Using our flashlight. There's a
214.
definitely a smashed out window. Hand me my other flashlight. Remember how I told you
Yep.
this thing just dies? It died. That's probably, they probably thought it was a shots fired, and there probably was.
So we got a van here with the. Just talking to the phone. Van here with the windshield smashed in. It was 1039 Carol, right at the corner.
I don't know how fresh
Be
that
available.
is, but
Can you give me a PVV at Hallery's Bar, Crowley
you figure it's
15.
been in the rain? You saw it? All right. Good job.
Sure,
What do
Father,
you
there.
think caused that windshield smash?
212.
What
Somebody's brick.
a brick? Well, it's a round thing. It's like, I don't know if it's
Yeah.
somebody sat on it or
Oh yeah, it could have been just.
it wasn't a basketball.
Yeah, it was confusing that there's a house door open.
Oh.
But it's because there's a door handle. There's a truck. So
Okay.
we looked inside there and the other door's locked. So
All right.
good on that part.
Carry on.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You have a
Thank
good night.
you. You do. Oh, see, young man, he said the seats were all wet. So that was his investigative
He's-
technique.
Absolutely.
In the rain, so there was a car there with a shattered window, obviously smashed windows can sometimes sound like somebody's shooting the windows out, but he had examined the.
8186
We
right?
didn't reach in and touch the seats, but they were wet, he said. So, good piece of investigative work there. Yeah, I think the flashlight should give you like a warning, huh? It's about to.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That's fine. All right, so.
.318 in the area.
219.
Well, if it stays slow for another 10, I think we'll call it for tonight. You okay with that?
I'm good with that.
So let's head slowly back to the office. We'll for sure be out next Friday. But if something good comes up, when I say good, I mean interesting, comes up during the week, we'll jump in the car and make sure you get a first-hand view of something taking place. But Thank you so much. Please text us if you got any other questions. I know we don't get to all the questions. 651-448-3810. 448-3810. And Wednesday night when we headed home, sure enough, there was a chase that started right as we were pulling into the barn the first time, remember?
Oh, yeah.
So don't hang up on us yet. We got 10 more minutes to... pull into the garage and use the facilities before we go?
Oh, yes.
Okay, very good.
5185 Tango.
5185 Tango.
I'll be en route to Roseville PD with one adult male, 19352.
At 221.
I did want to say that regarding the Mexican consulate, the Mexican population, and we should probably refer to them as Hispanic or Latino population,
318.
very, very positive for our town and revitalized. We always had a historical Latino Hispanic community on the west side, but Payne Avenue has been a lot of businesses, the growth over there, and a lot of hard workers, hard-working, people that have come to the Minnesota. They may start with migrant workers, but eventually finding their way here. And very, very lucky to have that community here, and they have a great relationship with their consulate. The other
9170.
the Hmong
is there
community,
a county squad that could assist in vacuum?
hang on. Same thing with the Hmong community, how hardworking that they've, and driving down University Avenue here, we see so many Southeast Asian based restaurants that have just grown and given us some great experiences here. And of course, I think I mentioned Payne Avenue for a lot of the new Hispanic community restaurants.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you want to add anything there, but I know Pat mentioned the one that he had arrested that was trying to get there, but it's just been so many positive aspects of that.
Give me FSE at Roberts instead of
Absolutely.
Copy.
Just investigate.
Yeah. Well, once again, we're going to sign off here in a minute. We're coming up on Regions Hospital on the parking ramp. And thank you to all the healthcare workers that are out there still working all night long. Keep us safe from infection, from COVID, from just a wide variety of...
Southbound, can you air everything for locals here?
West Metro State Patrol can be patched with one fleeing from a trooper on foot southbound from the address of 83216 Street Northeast. From a black male with a yellow shirt and black shirt.
Got a trooper chasing somebody on foot, but it's a completely different jurisdiction than where we're at. So, Pat, you want to say you got your sign off there, Ray Scott?
Well, thanks for being with us tonight. Hope we kept you somewhat entertained. It's wasn't the busiest of nights, but it wasn't too boring either. It was a good night. I hope everyone enjoyed it. And have a good night.